It's our turn. I'm definitely starting here. Um, so yeah, sorry about that. I was having bad dropped frames. Hopefully, just restarting the internet, restarting stream will fix that. And yeah, as for the game, we did wind up on witches. I did one more witches bid before doing all that. Chaos did get bid down a bit too. I see some people in the chat wanted to see Chaos Magician's action. I played Chaos yesterday on stream. Go check out that VOD. I wanted to play witches again, and so I'm playing witches. I mean, I'm half joking, but like, I do think this is a pretty good track for Chaos, but I also think it's a totally fine game for witches, and I just think witches are better on this map. Darkling starting here is a bit interesting. This hex might be under just the slightest bit of pressure, but I don't think anybody's going after this hex anytime soon. I would expect halflings are still going to start here. Chaos might try to get greedy, otherwise they're going to come in somewhere in here. If halflings don't start here, Chaos should start here. So regardless, I should have pretty good leech here. I did kind of want to start over here and leverage this area. I'm not totally sure when I get neighbors over here anymore, but starting here is not that necessary right now. And I partly want to start here because I'm hoping to get double dig, but the more I think about it, halflings probably get double dig. It depends, because if I get the worker power tile, which I think I do, I probably get the double dig. And if I'm getting double dig, starting here is great then to open temple for dwellings. So yeah, I think that's the play. I think going over here. I mean, we might invite halflings over here too, is what could happen, and I'd be totally cool with that. So we'll see. It's okay if the stream cuts out again. I'll just rewatch one of the 100 available witches ones. Yeah, I mean, I've played witches a lot, so it's not gonna be that different. And yeah, super, exactly. Long time no see. It's been like an entire week. How can I go like a week without playing witches on this map? So I mean, again, for what it's worth, everybody, I believe I have witches for a very good price here. Halflings and darklings have color neighbors in each other, and I have colorless neighbor witches on this map. Like, sign me up. I mean, so one of the biggest issues with starting split like I did here is that I'm gonna have to build temple here because I can't build temple here. And then that does also, it's not clear when I'm going to get a neighbor here anymore. So I have a bit of an issue. I might need to carve through the center, is a plan. It did go spade and big building, kind of like I thought. So we are taking worker 3 power and aiming for double dig. And we'll dig here and here. I'd like to actually probably just open Earth 1 and get double dig. But asking for both of those things is obviously very greedy. And so it probably won't actually be an option. And in that case, I will take some sort of favor tile. Probably fire 1. Air 2 witches is fun, but there's no air cult rewards anyhow, so it's probably just better to go fire 1. I'm assuming the rest of these players, just based on their ratings, are probably all going to rush Earth 1. Or take something actually super wacky. I can't predict anything these guys are going to do. They might also just open Earth 2, Fire 1 type stuff for all I know, but we'll find out. But I'm taking double dig. If I upgrade, I give it to halflings. I'm not interested in that. I could double dig the center, but opening temple and 4 dwellings is way too tempting, and I might still get to carve through the center shortly. So no reason to do anything too funky here. Isn't double dig on red good for leech? Yes, so double dig on red is very good for leech. The reason I'm taking these hexes, and the part of the reason I started here, was explicitly because I'm starting with worker power. So I actually have the option to end the round with 4 dwellings. Whereas if I take this hex, I'm only going to end with 3 dwellings. And I would prefer the 4 dwelling route. It does look like everybody's rushing Earth 1, and they all do. So that's all right, though. We knew that was a distinct possibility, and we're not too worried about it. Actually, we're not really worried about it at all. The only slight issue with opening this way is that I actually really want Stronghold too. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that in a sec. But some might say that Earth 1 is for chumps. Yeah, some might say that. I'm actually going to build my dwellings first here. I don't know what I want to take with the temple. I could also just build the stronghold. But I think that's wrong. I think I'm aiming for a stronghold shortly hereafter. If I somehow am able to double dig through the center next round, that's very tempting to me to carve up the center and then just build like a stronghold in the center and just have a big early center town. I really do kind of need a stronghold this game just so that I can claim this connection hex before anything weird happens to it. So we'll see on that front. Darklings went for the workers. Makes sense. Chaos took the priest. Halflings sent priest to earth. That's actually really... This is quite a nice Halflings opener. Can't argue with that. Curious what Darklings do. Probably just builds this. Actually, this, I guess, makes more sense. Darklings are at least going to get these hexes. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think it still has to be Fire 1, but a small part of me is wondering if Air 2 still isn't better just to generate even more power for like more spades and stuff early, but it's partly because I don't know how good a leech I'm going to have all game. If I actually get through the center, I'll have okay leech, but it does look like there might be a lot of action down through here, and one of my biggest problems continuing on this map is that most people just try to dig everywhere rather than shipping, and so I'm not sure how many neighbors I'm going to get very quickly. I mean, the other option is that I do just wind up shipping this game, and I could skip the stronghold, because this hex is reachable off 2 shipping, and it's not clear who's going to catch up to me. And I probably need to advance ship to reach these hexes pretty early anyhow. And this hex too. I mean, advance ship gets us so many hexes, and so then if I just have Fire 1 and I can advance ship, yeah, it's probably better. I'll just go Fire 1, I think. Does leave a small question of where exactly the points are going to come in, but I mean, we can build a lot of dwellings during these rounds. We probably do really want to be able to build a temple for Water 1. We'd like to send our priests to cults, so using them on shipping is a slight bummer. So that is a small consideration here too, but build stronghold. Air 2 and priests to cults. Yeah, priests to cults are important. Air 2 is fine, but I think it's Fire 1. I think just having coins is still better. Partly because I'm planning to be able to just hard dig a lot this game. Forgot that the Darklings had the spade, so Darklings are going to get out one more dwelling. I would have loved to be able to pass on to their spade, but that's not going to happen. I also would have loved that tile, but yeah, I'm just going to go Fire 1. I need coins. I have really good worker production already because I got to open 4 dwellings. I can get out more dwellings pretty quickly. So usually Fire 1 is correct, but I'm not sure. Witches and hard digs. Dig action shouldn't be that contested. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're not that wrong to want Air 2. I think Air 2 is very defensible. I don't think it would have been wrong. It might have been better than Fire 1. I mean, they're pretty equivalent, I guess, is where I feel, but I'm not sure. Darklings still have an action here, so we are going to pass next. So we could take Priest, but taking 5 coins and a Cult Step is probably just the best option. The Cult Step either can go to Earth and get us a coin, or we could maybe go up Fire and plan to send another Priest to Fire. Next round, I think I want to just send a Priest to Air, though. Priest to Air is a nice amount of power. Fire 1 supports ship upgrades better, and given round 3 dwelling. Yeah, exactly. I think the plan is definitely to just increase ship and build a bunch of dwellings in round 3, possibly even advance ship twice just so that we can reach this hex. Because I'm not sure I am building Stronghold now at all this game, or at least early. I still kind of want to plow through these hexes, but anyhow, coins and a Cult Step pretty much have to be right. One of the downsides is though, yeah, like I'm not actually sure how much power I'm getting for a little while here, which is a bummer. There's also just a tiniest little bit of worry I have about this hex from Dark Leads taking it before we get to it, or Chaos wanting to get to it. But I don't think I'm going to do anything about it next round, but losing this is a little concerning because then this becomes quite critical, but we'll get a little risky and see what happens. I think the preference is for me is still to just get this town. I'd like to get like this town eventually. I would assume halflings will at least get onto this hex. I'm not sure I'm gonna have a lot of neighbors up here though, which is a bummer. I'd also would kind of like to get like this. I could try to get like 5 hexes down here for a town, but I might have to do an expensive trading post. But one expensive trading post isn't that big of a deal. So needing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more digs is not too bad. Hey, you're okay. It's okay. You're okay, buddy. No, it's okay. You're okay. Yes, she does not approve of the Western town, or it might more so be the dog that was right outside. But yeah, who knows? As soon as Loki heard about the expensive trading post, just went off. Not gonna settle for that around here. Nah, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Darklings does take this hex, so they still have 2 priests. I'm not totally sure where they plan to expand to, but I don't think it's wild that Darklings might take this on us, which would be a bummer. I think I'm just gonna send my priest to air here though. I don't really know though. It's a little losing this hex is a bit sad, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I don't know. One option is to send this priest here, and then I could take single dig plus hard dig to take this hex and then build here, and so I would just have my center that I was talking about. I'm not opposed to that plan. I think that's pretty good. I think priest to air is quite good though. I think I could at least get some cult victory points this game, or at least this should get me at least like second on the air track because nobody's really contesting air. It gets me some nice power, so it gives me some more options. Admittedly, single dig, as I said, would burn us below 5 power tokens, but I think maybe that's not okay. I don't know. What kind of dog do I have? The best one? I have a Black Lab Golden Retriever. His name is Loki. He's mostly just looks like a black lab, honestly. But here, buddy, you wanna come on stream quick? Yeah, I know you probably don't really want to, but you can. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. All right, this would be the Loki. He's about 5 years old. Had him a while. He's a pretty good boy. Causes trouble sometimes, but I guess that's why we keep him around. It's already our turn. I could do the single dig plan. The single dig plan's probably bad, but it does secure the center. I'm probably just going to use my cult step here, I guess. I think I am going to cult step 1 on fire and allow myself to send a priest to fire next round. Although I guess I'm not going to have a priest because I'm going to use it for shipping. But I'm probably going to wind up with fire too at some point this game, so moving up fire track a little is probably fine, and it at least gives me flexibility. The only alternative is moving up earth track just for a coin, but I don't think I'm getting any points on the earth track, so I think this is okay. Yeah, I mean, I did name Loki, and so I mean, I think I deserve the mischief. That's... kind of brought it upon myself, probably, so. All right. You can go on, buddy. Yeah. Go do your trouble. Let's see. Darkling sent another priest to water. That's okay, but intriguing. They can't dig anywhere. I'm really tempted to just secure the center now. The only thing Darklings could do is they could decide to take the double dig action to take this green. but it's pretty awful for them. Chaos still has a spade. They're presumably going here. This hex is definitely under some threat, but I'm really tempted by this just center dig plan. But I mean, it comes with it. Part of the reason that it's kind of okay is because it comes with 4 extra points this round, so it's much more tolerable than it otherwise could be. It's gonna help me get a bit more leech. It can let me get a earlier town, potentially. It also lets me reach this hex off of shipping next round. Although I'm already gonna have like too many dwellings, right? Because I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next round, even if I advance ship, like I'm gonna have too many hexes. But how bad is it if we can never double dig again is the other big question. But given that we'll have 2 town locations already locked up, because I can try to make this a sanctuary town, assuming I can build my temple over here, which not a great assumption, means I probably only really need 2 more digs this game in order to make another town space. And I hope Chaos somehow gets over here, which that's a bold bet, but you know what? Let's go for it. I'm feeling slightly exploring here. I don't actually think this is the best move. It's burning the rest of our power, and it's making us never be able to double dig again very early in the game. But meh, screw it. Let's see how it goes. It could be wrong. There's a definite chance it's wrong, but we'll see. If Darklings double digs this away from us for some godforsaken reason, it's definitely gonna suck, but it would be pretty bad for Darklings as well, so whatever. We'll see what they decide to do. What were the initial victory points? The victory points were 22 witches, 24 or 25 chaos, and then 30 on halflings and darklings. Not a lot of bidding here. These players aren't particularly good based on their ratings, so there's a lot more action happening down here. These guys are all kind of having a nice leech party at least, so that's something. Halflings may provide us a neighbor in the east. I mean, halflings should provide us a neighbor. It's just I don't know when they're gonna get there, right? Because they're gonna need to ship to reach this, and I don't know when that's gonna happen, but we'll see. Because halflings have already upgraded their digging 1 steps. I mean, they're partly trying to expand off of digging. They just hard dug slightly there. Darklings does double dig that with power because, of course, they do. It's a terrible move for them. It's just so bad, but I kind of called it. Oh well, there's nothing to do but move on. I have to pass here. That was pretty awful for us. It's pretty awful for them too. Using your power as double dig as Darklings sucks. I mean, at least it comes with 4 points, I guess, but not using it for coins is going to come back to bite them. They also didn't need this hex very badly. They probably need this hex and this hex more because this was a beautiful sanctuary town, whereas if we beat them to this or something, they're in trouble. But this is the risk of Areana and bad players. But that really sucks. It's definitely possible that that's actually going to lead us to losing on some level in the future, but we'll see. They could have had coins and priest. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was really bad. It's very bad for Darklings to double dig there. It's not something they should have done. It's one of the really annoying parts of TM. Yeah, I agree. We're playing a multiplayer game against a lot of players, and that's just a bad move from Darklings. There's just no doubt about it, but this is a little bit of an issue of being a highly rated player, though, too. I experience this reasonably often, I think. I mean, everybody experiences it somewhat, but I do find a lot of mediocre players see strong players who are like, I got to kick that guy down any chance I get, even if it's awful for me, and then we all just suffer for it. But we'll see. I mean, it's not the end of the world for our game. Our game's still pretty strong. It's losing 1 hex. It's 1 hex we would have liked because it's also basically losing this hex, but can't do anything about it. Starting next round here, I'm going to advance ship and try to beat Darklings to this hex at least. There's a chance that Darklings will prioritize taking this hex as well. If that's what Darklings decide to do, well, fine. They're, on some level just making king-making kind of choices and probably hurting themselves too much to secure their territory. But, I mean, on some level, this was the issue of Darklings picking this starting location from the get-go. This is not a great option for Darklings to expand from. It's very constrained, as you can see already, for expansion for them. And so they might feel that it's necessary for them to just pay a lot in order to dig hexes. So we'll see. Losing one dig from that red. Yeah, I mean, we double dug for a single hex, which was it's obviously very bad in hindsight. I already said it was questionable, and I probably shouldn't have done it, I guess, but I did it, and I guess I got punished. I mean, ultimately, again, I should like against strong players. There's no way their Darklings would have double dug me there. It's just makes no sense for them, but not when there's coins and priests that could be had. But it's okay, and by it's okay, I mean it's not good for us at all, but. Our only hope is that the rest of our opponents keep making suboptimal decisions and we still can just win somehow. But this could be a bad loss, depending on how things continue to develop. So we'll see. I mean, this hex actually concerns me too currently because Chaos Magicians very well might decide they want to ship one and just take this hex just so that they have easier access to like this or something. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's not awful for them, and it hurts us a lot too. And so, look, it sometimes happens that the table somewhat if they all decide to make moves that hurt us, it's probably collectively their best chance to beat us. And I don't think any of it's right individually, but who knows? Stuff will happen, so we'll see. And ultimately, if we lose, the rest of these guys are playing fast, and I can play fast, and maybe just stream another game. But we'll see. I mean, we're far from doomed. I mean, we still have out this many dwellings in Fire 1. We still have this many leftover resources. We're doing okay. Looking at the cults, Darklings have sunk a lot of priests into cults, in my opinion, especially given that every priest that round was worth points. I think they've done just a lot of bad things. I mean, they are at 38 points because they started at 30 and they took Earth 1, but I don't totally know if they have a great future here. We have to advance ship, I think, is the play. We're trying to get this hex. We can at least build this and this. So yeah, this is fine. I mean, not sending a priest to the track is a bit annoying, especially this fire cult, but if I get a bit more leech, I maybe do still just take a priest action here and get it to fire anyhow. I'm not totally sure how much leech I'm going to get. Chaos does decide to double dig this because honestly that is actually a pretty good hex for them, but further unfortunate things for us. I probably should have just advanced ship last round and reached that hex. Yeah, I mean we're getting beat up here. Halflings does advance ship, which is encouraging that they're gonna build here and here. So that's at least good news. Our connection is really uncertain now. I essentially almost have to go for a stronghold, but I don't really have a good time to go stronghold. I mean I could like right now, but I don't. It's not really gonna work. Yeah, things are not good. I'm gonna build this dwelling. I'm gonna build this dwelling. I hope Halfling's next actions are to build this dwelling and this dwelling, but they could be advancing ship just to go up here. I hope it's here and here so I can build a trading post here and at least have tempo on building for Water 1 next round. But I don't know. We don't have a lot of power. I've limited ourselves a bit. Halflings are coming this way, so that's a ray of hope. I don't know when I'm going to have time to get a stronghold down to reach this hex, so can we win this game without network? I'm going to say the answer to that's no. I don't think so. I think we're going to need this hex, and this is going to be a town. I think this can be a sanctuary town, and then maybe there's a town here. Maybe there's a town in here somewhere. Those are kind of the options, but yeah, I don't know. It's a bit rough for sure. Maybe with 4 towns. The only 4 towns is awkward here because if I am going to build this hex, again, the way that 4 towns is easiest is to wind up with exactly 15 structures in the right locations. And so the problem with The problem with 4 towns here is that I probably can't actually have network, or I have to go to 16 network in order to get this hex. And our 16 network aspirations kind of died when Darklings and Chaos did this to us. This is losing a lot of green hexes that we wanted. We have to generate a lot of digs now, and we can't double dig. So yeah, I don't think there's any way. It's already just a hair tricky in order to figure out 3 towns, because I need at least 1 more dig, and then possibly 3, possibly only 3 more total digs, possibly 4 digs in order for the towns. But this town location is actually better in terms of the number of digs it's going to take me. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, probably like 14 network, maybe 15 network by the end of it. That's a pretty efficient path. That would work pretty well. We might be able to do that. We have so many workers at least. If you don't connect, yeah, if I don't connect, I could maybe do 4 towns, but connection in 3 towns is clearly going to be better for us. So, this tile for worker and 3 power plus trading post scoring would be pretty good. This tile for dwelling scoring would be pretty good. We definitely kind of just need to make points. I'm really hoping that halflings comes next to us, though, and we can just build a trading post here, because I really want to build a temple here. Otherwise, I do have to probably double dig here later, which is going to be annoying. I'm assuming most of these players are going to be set up to build a temple for Water 1 next round, so I do think we're going to have to worry about the tempo on that. But I think I could build trading post, pass, and then build temple for Water 1 first action. I think I do need to build that temple for Water 1 next round. Coins just got taken by Darklings, so I mean their double dig didn't punish them as hard as I think it should have, because somehow they've gotten enough leech in the meantime to take coins here. But yeah, anyhow, this becomes a trading post. It can probably become a temple next round, which is good. I think I probably pass just for the dwelling scoring. I'm probably going to wind up building another trading post or 2 next round, just because it's a good round to do it, and I'll build dwellings the next round. But this is 3 coins and like a guaranteed like 5-ish points still, whereas this is 3 coins a worker and probably 4 points, but maybe only 2, depending on exactly what I wind up doing. Especially because there's a chance that I just build a temple next round, and then I still like go for a stronghold, and maybe I even get a hard dig on top of all of that and make a town right away or something. But I partly want to build the stronghold so badly just to lock in this hex, but I don't know. The way Darklings suffer for that is their southern town. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Darklings suffer because they had a beautiful sanctuary town, and if they just took this hex from us instead, which they could have, they would have had a very nice southern town. And so Darklings are paying for punishing us over securing their own territory that they really kind of needed. But it's not a ton of solace to me, but it's something. We're getting a good amount of power here. Darklings might just be taking Water 1 right now, which they probably should. I don't really know what else they need. Plus, it gets them to step 8. So, yeah, it's probably Water 1 from them. Halflings can't take Water 1. They're already up to 62 points, though. Damn. I haven't been paying attention to that. But, yeah, Halflings haven't even fully advanced dig, but just a lot of Earth 1 dwellings they got on the dwelling tile. Darklings takes Fire 2, though, in order to take the 2 key town. Well, that's further bad. It's not good for them, but I guess it's not awful, but I don't... Darklings contesting cults is interesting. It's not a very strong town. It's a good, strong town, but Darklings aren't getting a ton of benefit out of the cult rewards. They might be getting some victory points. It's not awful, but Fire 2 is clearly awful. There's no good reason for them to have gone Fire 2 instead of just taking Water 1 and like just building a trading post in order to lock in that town. So I'm okay with that. I have a lot of power here. I'm going to convert. Oh, I could take the priest and set it to fire. I talked about doing that. The downside to that plan is I'm really losing the temple on Water 1, but there's no way Darklings are building a temple for Water 1 in front of me now, is there? This is just like a free priest to fire at this point because of all the power I get from it. does mean that I'm passing later, though. And right now, if I pass first, I'm getting a really good tile that I want. Gosh, I would like to send the Priest to fire, but just because it's good value. But I think it's not worth the loss of delaying my turns here. We're definitely very behind in points right now, which is a big problem. All these Earth ones are paying off for a lot of these guys because they still have good economies off of it. Us getting kicked here us getting double kicked is hurting us, but we haven't got many points off passes. I think the 3 coins and the dwellings has to be worth it. We're still going to end with at least 4 dwellings, possibly more. I think my first action this round might have to be Temple for Water 1, though. It depends on what the Darklings do, I guess. If the Darklings don't build a trading post here, then I can take coins first action, which is obviously what I always want to take, so. But we'll see. Fire 2, Darklings are symbolic. Yeah, this game is weird, yeah. CM is the big winner of this mess. Yeah, Chaos getting this hex and getting over here, and they're going to beat us to like this. Chaos are having a really nice game. They're at 45. I mean, Halflings are doing pretty well, but Halflings are getting also presumably... Well, Halflings can try to connect off of this hex, which would slow Chaos down. So that would be fun. I mean, Halflings are having a pretty good game. I think Halflings are getting Water 1 blocked, because Chaos are going to take... Oh, actually, sorry, there's 3 copies left. I don't know. I don't know for sure. This is definitely a messy game, but this is what you get with unknown quality and players. They all have very few games played, and none of them have been making that major mistakes. I think Darklings thinking this is actually a pretty big mistake, and I guess Fire 2 is a pretty big mistake, but it's not that awful. Like, all these players are at least still doing reasonable enough things with their economy and their builds, which is unfortunate because I would prefer them to do lots of silly things. But Darklings do not have a trading post on the board, so there's no way for Darklings to take Water 1 from us, so we can take the coins here first, which is a very welcome exchange. I can build a temple. I have 9 workers left. I could build I can build trading post. I could build stronghold, fly here. I could still build 1 more trading post. The only problem is that trading post can't necessarily go where I want it, which is a bit of a bummer. Chaos goes for a ship town, so they are at 2 ships, so they presumably are prioritizing this hex, which is going to cause Halflings problems. Halflings also have like no coins. I missed that, so maybe there is some hope in terms of Halflings have a lot of points, but not much else going for them long term here. We'll see. I'm definitely going to build temple here for Water 1. I don't need any bridges currently, which is good. I do kind of... This hex is still concerning, but I don't think Chaos cares about it. Darklings advances on the shipping track. That's a bit confusing. I'm not sure where they're going to go, but I don't think it can hurt us. I guess they're going to try to go here and get here, but that doesn't really bother me. Darklings getting here and beating us to this hex is really the only concern to me. And I still have enough to hard dig if I have to at the moment. So we'll go for a Water 1 here. I think my next move is trading post here. I might trade it. Actually, maybe it's just trading post center. It gives my opponents a lot of power, but I'll presumably get some power when they build trading posts next to me. I don't know. It's an interesting exchange here in terms of where I should go. I probably am sending a priest to a cult track at some point in here too. It's probably just air, because I probably should just try to win air cult at this point and kind of just let the other cults resolve as they do. But I'm not sure. I I'm curious how many priest Darklings is going to keep sending to cults as well. It'll be intriguing to see their decision making on that front. One slight downside to building the stronghold here this round is that Darklings are going for this hex. So Darklings are trying to build this little town later, which makes a lot of sense for them. Because one thing is I can just build like a trading post here and a trading post here and then a dwelling here, whereas if I go stronghold, it's really overbuilding this town. I could try to like go stronghold over here and just, but building an expensive trading post currently is too annoying. Maybe going for the stronghold's wrong. It just feels like securing this hex is so important. I think it is that important, right? I mean, this is network for us, and network is still going to be good for us. I think I can go stronghold. I think I can still get this hex next round. My trading post neighbors are going to be problems. But what can you do? That's often the issue I have on this map. People do not expand as fast as I would like them to. Halflings can admittedly get here, so maybe I'll get some trading post neighbors soon enough too. This goes back to where should this go, but I think getting free power off the center is going to be better than me throwing tons of power to these guys, so I think I do this. What's the best way for an inexperienced player to get better? Intrigue. Playing with advanced players who are willing to point out your mistakes is probably the best way. I agree. Actually, it's very good to like talk to experts and play through your games and like talk through kind of where like you're not focused well. I agree, Danny, very strongly. I think one of the quickest ways to learn is to learn off of the back of experts. I think there's at least some loose strategy guides. I think that's kind of the same idea. You're getting a bunch of expert advice in some format. Getting to really talk to an expert in live environment is almost certainly like the best, but it's hard to achieve if you don't know any. I think some of like Zorus's ultimate guides are a really good spot to go, and there's a lot of like that goes from like a faction specific window, but I think there's a lot of really good ideas in a lot of those videos that are broadly applicable that you pick up on. One of the other like things that I've remarked on in the past that can be kind of paradoxical, but if your goal is to try to become a better player, which it probably should be, right? One of the ways to become a better player is you just need to one of the best ways to become a better player is you kind of need to really push yourself, and that means trying things that you aren't sure are going to work or maybe aren't correct, and learning how to play different styles and stuff. If you always try your best to win every game individually, you kind of have to stick with what you know. And so that's like what I think a lot of mediocre players get hung up on is like they don't know how to play games without Earth 1. Every time they don't get Earth 1, they basically lose because they don't know how to handle it. And so they basically have to rush Earth 1 because they can't win otherwise, but they like essentially the fact that they don't know how to play without Earth 1 really limits them, and they get narrow and what they can play. Part of the reason that the experts are the experts, part of the reason NerdCube and Halai are so good and that you don't ever feel like they're in a bad position is because they know how to play a very wide range of stuff, and they can be creative in the build orders and the spots and etc. And when you have that wide repertoire of skills and you can play different styles, you're not narrow. You basically can't wind up in a bad position because so many positions are good for you. Same thing with like town tiles. If you always find yourself needing coin towns, you're probably building your economies in ways that essentially forces you to take coin towns. And if you find yourself having to settle for power towns in particular, I think that's when your inefficiencies in your game start to build up a bit, and they reveal themselves. And like basically, if you ever find yourself doing anything too often in this game, it probably means that you're not giving yourself enough, like, a variety of paths that are good. But hard to say. Um, as for this game itself, I kind of got on a big tangent there, and I don't even know how much of that was on topic for the question. But I'm just going to send Priest to Air. Chaos Magicians can double dig. I don't think they're going to take this Hex, but it concerns me that they might. And so as soon as I go Stronghold, Chaos could immediately bomb this Hex and take out the whole reason that I built the Stronghold. So I'm kind of trying to wait them out. The problem is it's not that easy to wait them out here because they just took another delay move and they still can double dig. And so we kind of have to go, do we trust our opponents? Taking this Hex doesn't seem great for Chaos, but it's not the worst thing because it does at least get them here. And it 100% cuts us off. And so if Chaos thinks we're still in competition with them, cutting us off is good. I'm not actually that clear that we're in competition with anybody right now, but yeah, I don't know. Halflings are feeding us some power at least. It's welcome. All right. Glad that was at least of some use, mixed stems. But yeah, eventually you just got to try things. You got to push yourself out of your own boundaries. You can set up your own constraints sometimes too, but if you're always stuck playing one path, you're going to have problems. And then, yeah, I don't know. As for this game, I'm definitely tempted to just build like another trading post this round. I guess I could build one trading post here. It's so ugly, guys. Like, the problem is I want to build Stronghold. I want to fly here. I can't build trading posts where I want them because my later towns are either here or here. And so I need to build trading posts like here or I need them here. I don't need another trading post in the center. I'm presumably going to take Fire 2 with a Sanctuary eventually, which means I only need one trading post here. I only need 2 trading posts in the other town. So I guess I have one trading post that's free. So I guess that could be this trading post. Yeah, I mean, I have a free trading post because as soon as I build a Stronghold, although I guess I don't necessarily know if I'm building the Stronghold. Although if I'm not building the Stronghold, then I guess I probably still want a trading post in the center. I don't know. We're in some awkward position here for sure, but it's a good round to get trading posts up. I don't know what else to do. I really want to build the Stronghold, but Chaos just, it's so uncertain what they're going to do. I just don't think Chaos are going to take our Hex, but the Stronghold's just worth nothing if they're going to get a Priest. Yeah, I could get a Priest. I'm far from opposed to just taking a Priest and sending it to a cult, right? So that might be my next delay move. Chaos are also delaying here by just using cult step. I don't really know why Chaos are delaying. But I guess they're maybe not delaying. They're just taking their called step because they also don't know what they're doing. I feel like Chaos are double digging. I feel like Chaos should take like this Hex. I guess the problem is what other Hex should Chaos take though if they're gonna double dig. They have double shipping. So yeah, it's not clear what they should do. So I don't know. I guess I will take a Priest, and that gives me a lot of time to delay. The only slight downside to the Priest plan is that I'm going down to 4 power tokens, but that's fine. The other slight downside is it might mean I have to use a worker for a coin to make the Stronghold happen, but it's probably fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. We've gone very far from ideal this game anyhow. Yeah, we've wound up very far from ideal. Halflings keep hogging the spade tile is pretty annoying. Given that they can just fully advance dig, the spade tile is like really mediocre for them, but they just don't fully advance dig, so I guess it's fine, but blech. The spade tile is a little bit of how I thought I would eventually make this happen. Oh god, I really want to just go Stronghold, but I feel like I'm just going to get immediately smacked down for it. Because I really kind of don't want to use a worker as a coin. I really need workers for digging. Maybe I just go stronghold here. What's the worst thing if I build a stronghold? I mean, I wind up like just flying here and just settling for the fact I'm building towns, and I could get punished. But if I get punished, I get punished. I don't know. I'm going to just build a stronghold, see what happens. Could be wrong, but if all of our opponents keep double digging our hexes, whatever. I mean, we were never going to win the game if they all hit these hexes instead of doing other hexes. So if Chaos takes this, it sucks. We're going to lose, but sometimes losses happen. Sometimes you get beat up on. I'm pretty sure he is going to double dig this. I just feel like it's what he's going to do, but... Oh, maybe not. Oh, he could turn it gray, I guess. Turning it gray actually annoys us a tremendous amount, because I can't fly to it then, so... We're not out of the woods yet. He doesn't really have anything to do here, unfortunately. Oh, but he turns the north thing gray. Alright, we get away with it. Alright, folks. We still sort of have a game going here. The fact that we can play for network is important. At this point, we are eventually going to build a sanctuary here for Fire 2, probably, for our town. So then the rest of the game, we need to build 3 trading posts and 6 more dwellings, which is quite a lot of stuff still. So that's a concern. We do get to pass for the big building tile, which is like 2/3 of a spade and some points. All of that seems good. We are going to have to go for some expensive trading posts this game, probably, unless Halflings should come next to us. I don't really know where else they're expand. I guess they could expand up north. I don't know. I would hope they're going to come here, but it's far from clear they will, so that's a bummer too, but we'll see. We're at least alive. I think Chaos just going for their own network makes plenty of sense. I mean, this hex did not do a lot for them, although I guess it means they're probably not getting here. But, I mean, Chaos can also get to 3 ship and just dig this and get through here. So, maybe. I don't know. I'm also starting to wonder if we're somehow just 2-towning this game. I'd really like to 3-town still through here. But this is probably going to require 2 expensive trading posts. But, I mean, I guess that's just 6 coins. We can generate 6 extra coins, right? Right? It's not 100% clear that we can, but maybe. This next round looks like some hard digs, which the more I think about it is a little bit of a trouble for us too. Like, I'm going to take this hex, but we do have some spade issues this game. Not getting like any cult economy is actually hurting us a decent bit too. It's coming to slow us down a bit. Should the stronghold have created a town? So you need 4 hexes, and I only have 3 hexes, and I don't have a sanctuary. I do have 7 power points, you're correct, but that's not enough on its own. Darklings does not take coins because I don't know why, but nobody else can take coins except us, so I could just take more coins. The fascinating thing about taking more coins is maybe I'm advancing dig this game, which I hadn't considered until just this moment. But if I take coins, why not just advance dig, right? Advancing dig gives me a lot more flexibility on some stuff. We see another Fire 2 because I guess why not? So now the new question is, will Chaos eventually take Fire 2? And maybe, but we get more coins. Coins are just always correct. I'm just going to advance dig now, so... You forgot, play too much Gaia. Yeah, that happens. We can generate 6 coins, right? Coin town looking suddenly. Yes. Yeah, when I ask about the fact, can we generate 6 coins, there is always the coin town option. The new plan, though, is advanced dig, because that means I might only need 1 expensive trading post, because then I could just go for a 5-dwelling town over here. 5 dwellings and a trading post. So yeah, I'm gonna advance dig this round. There's really no pressure on this hex currently, so I think I advance dig. Then I'll dig and build this. I might have to take a worker town because I really do need workers. And then I just build another dwelling or two where I need it. I can always fly somewhere in here. But yeah, advancing dig looks good to me. I mean, we eventually have to advance ship and stuff too, but we need points. Advanced dig is points. It's actually decent. It saves us a decent amount. I don't know. Maybe it's not right, but I might have to take coin towns yet too. Who knows? Oops, not shipping, digging. We're gonna dig. We're gonna beat halflings to full dig advance is what it looks like. I was scared of halflings at one point. Remember when halflings had like 62 points at the end of whatever round 2 it was, or maybe it was round 3, but they haven't been doing well since then. For some reason, all these players rushed Earth 1, but then they rushed Fire 2 instead of Water 1, which is confusing. Chaos is the only one that kind of made more sense because they at least took Water 1. Darklings are still playing the cults. I don't know. I mean, our opponents are making enough errors. The fact that we've connected at least gives us some legitimate shot here of winning this game. We still have some decent town aspirations. If we do lose Fire 2, we're not going to be able to make 2. We're not going to be able to 3 town if we lose Fire 2. But I think it's okay if we lose Fire 2, honestly. Darklings make their probably only other town. I'm not sure Darklings are going to get another town out this game, but we'll see. Darklings do just go for more cults, which pretty predicted. That's fine. The fact that we're not sending more priests to air and that I'm using my priests to advance ship and dig does mean that I'm not actually sure I'm going to win the air track, and I'm going to get very few cult points, which is going to be a bit of an issue. Halflings are going up here, suggesting they want the only other bridge left in the game rather than just come over here. So we still might have 2 expensive trading posts in our future because, as always, when I actually need neighbors, I don't really get them in these games, but it's okay. We'll see. Coin Town. Yeah, I mean, I think we do need a Coin Town this game at this point, to be honest. Going for building as much stuff as we have and advancing dig and needing to ship 3 times. It's a lot of expense. Chaos just got double dig again, which is a little crazy. I guess, I mean, that's a product. It does make sense, actually. Sorry, though. Why would halflings ever double dig? We can't double dig. Darklings shouldn't have ever taken a double dig action, but they did. So yeah, I mean, Chaos have pretty free reign. There is a big bridge fight going on right now. It looks like halflings really want to bridge. Halflings are still trying to 3 town. I missed that. They're going to Sanctuary, and that's why they took Fire 2. They're trying to 3 town at least, which is cool. But yeah, both Chaos and Halflings need the bridge that's left. Halflings are going to pass just to get the bridge, and they get a pass town at least. So there is that. But we've fully advanced digging. I think I'm just digging and building this. There's maybe an argument to just turn it green. Actually, I can just turn it green. It's because I have fully advanced digging. There's no way Chaos is going to mess with it. And this allows me to really delay. And I think I want to delay. I'd like to get Chaos's tile. I probably won't, but maybe I have a shot at it. If I go slowly. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm going to fly here now, I guess, is the plan. No real reason to do anything else. It might be take a coin town time. I'm not sure. I don't love the idea of taking a coin town, but it might be correct to do so because I do need to build an expensive trading post this game, it seems. I don't think I'm getting around that, and I still need to generate a lot of coins. This is too much leech for me to accept. Even though I need a lot of resources, 5 for 4 is not efficient, unfortunately. Screw everyone and take a bridge. I mean, I would honestly, I would do that. I do that all the time, but I can't. I did not pass first and take the first bridge. So that's fine. We fly here. I might just take the coin town right now. I need a lot of coins to do what I'm doing, especially if I'm going to make all these towns happen that I'm talking about. I need a lot of coins. I need a lot of workers. I just don't think halflings are ever going to be our neighbor. I don't think darklings are ever going to be our neighbor. So I think I have to settle for the fact that I'm building not just 1 expensive trading post, but I very well might have to build a second. So 2 expensive trading posts. I still need 2 ship advances. I need to build a lot of dwellings through here. I need to generate 3 digs. I still have to make a sanctuary, so like I might have to take a workers town next round too. Like I need a lot of resources to eke all this out. There's a chance that I don't build this fourth dwelling or fourth trading post this game, and I end on 3 things on my board for network purposes. That probably still wins network. But yeah, I think it's a coin town. I don't love it, but it's okay. It's mostly having to do expensive trading posts that's really slowing down the efficiency, but that's okay. I think the next play is build one expensive trading post here, and then dig and build this hex, and at least give some flexibility for the towns. If I wind up having a sanctuary for Air 1 rather than sanctuary for Fire 2 because Fire 2 runs out, so be it. But town in east for non-expensive trading post, extra dig though, assuming chaos goes east. Yeah, so the thing is I would need 2 trading posts over here in order to make this town, so like I would have to dig through like this. So if I had a lot of extra workers I could do that, but I don't really have a lot of extra workers. I am going to build one expensive trading post here because I just don't see... I mean, halflings could come here at any moment, but they just haven't really shown a willingness to, and I don't know what to expect from them. So I think I just settle for the fact I'm building an expensive one here. We're at least going to end this round at like 72 points, which isn't too bad. We're hoping to still get 7 more points as ship advance. We're hoping for 2 more towns. We're hoping for 5 points from the track next round. We're probably going to get a little more from Water 1. We're probably not getting a pass tile here, which is unfortunate because that means... Well, I could get like a priest and 3 coins or 4 coins and a cult step. Those are at least okay tiles. So it's not that bad, but we'll see. It's the same because he's lacking a dwelling in for the southeast. You're dyslexic, you select east and not west. Yeah, you see now. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, basically, my plan though is to hopefully just have a 5 dwelling town over here. Which the problem is with this town, like Chaos are gonna join me for neighbors. I mean, I think Chaos are building 2 more dwellings this round at least. Maybe not. Are Chaos trying to build a town up here still too? Like, or they're just building lots of dwellings? Chaos is just trying to fight network, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, Chaos are going to have a really good network, actually. They've built so much stuff. Ooh, Darkling's pass. Huh, so if we can stall out Chaos, we actually do get their tile. The problem is I can't actually stall them out, it doesn't look like. So they're going to stall us out instead, which, fair enough. But I'll at least go slow here and hope for a miracle of something. I am going to just, I think, try to go for this town. Honestly, I'm not even sure I have enough stuff to achieve all this, but I guess we'll see. I mean, so if I build this, I'm going to have 7 workers. The problem is 4 of them go to this, 5, 6 of them are here, and then I still need 7, 8, 9, 10 or something. So yeah, like, ugh. Probably have to take a worker town. I don't know. We'll see. Chaos are having a very good game, though. Things have gone well for them. They're at least getting blocked from... They should get bridge blocked by halflings, though. Halflings are going very hard for their 3 towns, which 3 towns is going to get halflings a lot of points. Yeah, I don't know. All of our opponents are actually playing a decent game at least, and we got pretty punished here by all these double digs happening that hemmed us in. I mean, this is the one that really... This decision totally did not pan out. If we just got this center town like I had thought, I mean, getting slowed down 1 dig here has made some issues, but oh well. We're producing 4 power, that's fine. The spade is basically a worker and 2 coins, or I can take 4 coins and a cult step. I kind of just did the math, though. I do need more workers too, right? So it might be correct to take the spade still, even though I advanced dig. I guess let's run the math one more time. I have 7 things here, so it's gonna take 4 workers just to build this, and then it's gonna take 5, 6 to make the trading post, and then it's 7, 8 in order to build this, 9 to build this, 10 to dig it, and then the flight. So yeah, it takes 10 workers. So I guess I do take this spade tile. That's one extra worker, and then I take a workers town. I have enough workers, and then I just have to see how many coins I have at the end of all that, which is not going to be a lot. And so then it might have to be a coin town just to afford 2 more ship advances. Ugh. Taking like 2 coin towns and a worker town is not the game plan this game, but we've built a lot of expensive shit, so what can you do? We aimed for a very expensive game plan with trying to advance dig here. Might have been wrong to do that. Given that actually, advanced dig might have turned out wrong the more I'm thinking about it. I sunk a lot of resources into it, but I'm only going to actually use it for 3 hexes. Although, that's still saving enough workers. It's just using a lot of coins, but I don't know. Whatever. Worker power to thread into power action, maybe. It's kind of a worker and 2 coins as well. Actually, yeah, that's a really good thought. I didn't even think about that, Danny, but you're right. That was probably a bad move by me here. I probably should have taken worker 3 power. Because it comes with a coin, it's just better than what I took, actually, right? Like, it has a coin on it. It's just guaranteedly better. If I use the power as a coin, it's 2.5 coins and a worker, and I just took a tile that was a worker and 2 coins. So yeah, that was slightly inefficient to me. And it's important to be able to threat the power actions, you're right, because maybe there's a world where I get the coins again, because, I mean, Darkling's like last round didn't take it for whatever reason. I don't remember what they rushed, but I guess it was rushing these hexes. But yeah, not having enough power to take the workers here could come back to bite me too, depending on how things go. So yeah, oh well. Had to step out since round 2. How's it going? It's not going well, all-powerful wizard. The big turning point of the game is I decided to go for a single dig on the center, expecting I would get this green, because the only way I wouldn't get this green is Darklings would have to use all their power on a double dig, but Darklings used all their power on a double dig, which was pretty awful for them, given that the coins action and the priest action were both open. But yeah, they took that, which hurt. Chaos the next round double dug this as soon as I advanced ship, so that hurt a lot. I decided and settled on building a stronghold that was a bit suboptimal just so that I could actually secure my network. I've had to build a lot of expensive trading posts this game because I don't have neighbors where I need them, but I do get fire 2 at least, so that's 1 break in the good guys column. Assuming we're the good guys, which maybe that's bold too, but this is going to be a worker town. Yeah, it's going to be a worker town. CM always wants dwelling points there. The only advantage of the spade tile is if denied it matters. Yeah, it did not matter, unfortunately. Chaos was definitely going to pass for the points. I mean, Chaos is having a very good game, which is a big issue for us. I mean, honestly, our opponents are actually, like, again, our opponents broadly have been doing fairly decent things. Given their ratings, these guys are not playing that awfully, except maybe Darklings. Darklings has done a lot of things I wouldn't, but I mean, Darklings still has 1,000,000 resources in their Darklings. I mean, the only, I guess, thing that I think Darklings did really wrong was this Fire 2 was really premature compared to just taking Water 1. I guess Darklings don't have efficient ways to make points right now is the upshot. I mean, all these priests are points, but all these resources are not. I mean, Darklings are probably going to build a stronghold, I guess, at some point this round and have even more priests. Maybe Darklings finds a way to a 3rd town yet, because they might advance ship 1 more time and then, like, dig through all of this. Darklings might make a 3rd town yet. If they dig this hex and build here, and then they build a trading post and a stronghold, they probably have enough stuff to just eke out this. Maybe. Oh no, they have no dwellings. Yeah, I think Darklings probably have made a lot of mistakes. I think their 2 key town looks pretty early too, although Darklings might send a lot more priests to the cults than I'm thinking. But they've done a lot of questionable things. Halflings, the fact Halflings have never fully advanced dig seems very questionable. But they are hitting 3 towns, so maybe they've made too many mistakes. But this Chaos Magicians player has actually done a lot of really good things. I don't really have a lot to point out that I think Chaos has done wrong. Chaos is almost certainly going to be able to build 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings. There's a chance that Chaos even does wind up eking out, getting down to only like 2 structures, which would be a bit of an issue for us. I definitely am taking 2-for-1s. I mean, the rest of the plan here this round is pretty clear. It involves an expensive trading post, 2 dwellings, and this, and then I still need to advance ship twice. I have barely enough resources to making all that happen. Hey, Ghostly, I mean, this was not really a game that you wanted to watch. I mean, maybe it is. You can finally watch me having a rough game if that's something you wanted to see. It's did not go well. We took witches. We're still having a pretty good witches game. Maybe we're winning, but I don't really think so. I'm not sure. I think Chaos are probably winning, and we're probably second the more I look at it, but it has been a rough game. The past tiles also have not resolved well for us, which maybe that's a little bit of us, but I think that's a lot of luck most times, honestly. I think the next things have to be to secure these 2 hexes would be the goal. I don't think halflings are in any way paying attention to us or ready to mess with us, but I don't think there's any good reason not to just dig and build this and then fly here. So yeah, let's do that. Oops, if we're digging, we should use our dig tile. Sometimes it just seems to happen, maybe more generally too, but perhaps we're off on this map. So I mean, this map has more precarious connection paths, and it has tighter town spots. I mean, this whole central continent literally has like no hexes left, right? So one of the downsides is when somebody takes your hex on the base map, a lot of times it's like, oh, they took the hex I want, but now I could at least debate a triple dig or even just a double dig to make up for it. So they cost you like a spade. Here, it's a lot more easy for it to cost you an entire town or more. And then connection, same thing. Like a lot of times on the base map, there's still a more expensive route to connection. Here, it's often just like your connection's gone and you don't have any other option. Which is okay. It's part of the flavor of this map. This map is more cutthroat. There is more value on securing your hexes. It just sucks when Darklings decides to take a double dig for a hex they just don't need. I mean, this hex looks really questionable to me still right now. If Darklings are not on this hex, like, they maybe would have an easier time making another town or something, but Darklings does take a very late water 1, so now they are going to just build some trading posts and dwellings to end the game, probably. Luckily, we didn't get messed with. I'm not really paying as close attention to the end here as I probably should be, but it's okay. Our end game looks fairly safe here now. I just build trading post. I dig and build this. I have exactly the resources for that. I have 3 leftover power, which is close to 1 ship advance. Chaos is going to wind up beating us on air, which isn't really shocking. They have a lot of resources and time left, and they can do whatever they want. Yeah, I mean, our game probably is... actually, affording this last ship is not guaranteed yet, which is really dangerous for us. We really actually, the more I'm looking, we are... given that there's no coin town left, we can't... Oh, we can never mind. We can guarantee it with taking a ship town. Taking the ship town will give us just enough resources to still be able to guarantee the 2 shipping that we need to connect. So we do at least achieve 3 towns and a pretty good network. The problem is Chaos has way too many resources. I think Chaos can get down to just 2 structures left. So I think Chaos can have just this monster game of, I think they can win network outright. I think they're going to have the best cult score. They have pass points here still. So I think they just win. But the good news is looking at the rest of our opponents. I mean, halflings have like nothing for them anymore. They just went stronghold, which is fun at least. But like, given they have the trading post tile, I think it's a good play. They also went Earth 3. I missed that, so they at least denied Chaos that, which is fun, but not very good either. So they've really played kind of sloppy. They are finally digging here now that we don't need them, but oh well. But yeah, so I guess the only question is if Darklings somehow beats us, but Darklings has no pass tile, so it's a very safe second here, but Chaos has had a very nice game and they're just going to win. But that happens, so, oh well. Did I start in the West then? Yes. So I did start in the West. I started here and here because I thought I would get double dig in round ones, and I did. I got to dig, and I got to open Temple 3 Dwelling because I started with, or 4 Dwelling because I started with Worker Power. The rest of them rushed Earth 1. I took Fire 1. It was totally fine. Round 2, I made a kind of risky decision to again, it wasn't actually that risky. It was a little bold, specifically because I was playing kind of wild card players. That it was maybe not worth it. But I did decide to single dig plus hard dig. It was a spades round. It did lower my power tokens down to 5, but I was really pretty convinced I would get this hex because I didn't think it would block me, and then I was gonna have an easy center town. Darklings taking that turned out to hurt probably more than I thought, and maybe it wasn't worth risking, but oh well, I did it all, so. But yeah, that was how the game went, and getting blocked here was rough, and then immediately in round 3 I advanced ship, and Chaos immediately took this with a double dig, which made a ton of sense. This is a very good hex for Chaos. It's allowed them to rush over here faster than we could, beat them to any of this, and that's part of what's allowing Chaos to fight Network so well. I mean, I think this is a big hex for Chaos, and so maybe the real mistake was going for this center when I did. I don't really think Darklings was ever going to take that originally, and so if I just advance ship, maybe I just get this hex. Although, the problem is if I advance ship, I think Darklings would have just chose to double dig this, which still meant it would have been a rough game. I mean, ultimately our opponents, I think the real issue is Darklings just chose kind of a bad spot. They got hemmed in, they punished themselves by taking this, but it cost us, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes that can throw the game around, and I think Chaos hasn't really been disrupted. I mean, Darklings took the 2 key town, but that doesn't appear to have disrupted Chaos at all. I mean, Chaos is beating Darklings at every cult but Water, and Water's really the only one that Darklings actually fought, which happens pretty often. So, like, I think Darklings taking the 2 key town, if anything, was just good for Chaos. I guess Chaos only has 1 key this game, so if I was trying to fight them on air, that would be a problem, but I don't have the extra resources to take air 3 this game. So, oh well. Watch them take Shiptown. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Who halflings could take Shiptown? Oh, yeah, that is actually a possibility, isn't it? That would be unfortunate. Well, I mean, to be fair, I can take a power town and hope to get 1 more leech. Assuming halflings build next to me, like, I'm currently flexible on getting the leech, and I'm gonna slow play it a bit, because if I get leech, I at least have options. I'm curious what Chaos is thinking about exactly. I don't totally know how they want to play this endgame out. Chaos does have the choice to go for like a really expensive town. I think it would be wrong, but maybe they'll finally make a bit of mistakes for us, but I don't know if it'll make up. So you've been watching through the VOD. In round 1 you missed that Darklings passed super aggressively and you took cult coins over the spade. Oh, did I? Well, that's a big mistake. See, I didn't pay that close attention, obviously, and I had calculated that Darklings... Oh, interesting. Well, Gray, thanks for pointing out that error. That's pretty silly and embarrassing, but oh well, that stuff happens as well. But yeah, not only did I lose the spade, but Chaos got it. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge swing in the game, too. Chaos really needed that spade. I really would have preferred it. It would have been so much better for me, obviously. I mean, I decided to use my power for spading, which I wouldn't have had to do. I would have just had the spade. I would have 2 less coins, not a big deal. I would have 1 less step on fire, not a big deal. And then I would have had all those coins. Yeah, that's a huge swing in the game, actually. That's really bad of me to not pay enough attention while I was passing. I had so locked my plan in on taking the cult coins that I missed that Darklings had passed in front of me. Very intriguing. Wow, yeah, that's super sad to hear, because that's a huge swing in this game, actually. That would have been much better for my game. It would be significantly worse for Chaos, and that alone could be enough to also swing the game back for me. But that's what happens, folks. You can make mistakes yourselves still, too, so... Snellman data suggests Chaos is the best faction for Fire Ice. You don't see the auction, but I think they're underbid on average. Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. Well, so I think it's a little wrong. I don't think Chaos are the best on this map by any means. But I think Witches are the best when they have no color neighbors, is my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong. It does depend a little on the track. But I think witches are the best on this map, and I mean I paid 22 for witches while chaos went for like 24 or 25. So I'm not at all concerned about that. Do I think that both chaos and witches were underbid here, and these guys took halflings and darklings way too soon? Absolutely. But yeah, I do agree that broadly, I think a lot of people are too afraid of chaos magicians on this map. I think they're much better than the base map. You just chaos magicians, you tend to have a nice town. You have pretty good expansion actually off of some shipping. I think the other really nice part about for chaos is that you're fairly central in terms of getting a lot of the leech. And that's part of why I think witches are quite good on this map as well, especially when you do start here as witches. Like you're just so centrally located that you do have neighbors and you have good expansion off of that, and all of that's pretty important. And I think it's a lot of the issue for some of the other guys going on right now. I again have been talking a lot and haven't been paying attention to anything, which is my bad. I could just form this town and guarantee the ship town, which is probably the right play, right? Or I could dig and get slightly risky and watch. Oh wait, no, halflings already took their town. So there's really no risk on this. So I'm actually gonna slow play it because I would prefer to see if I do get any leech. Um, you see people overbid Darklings and Fire Ice a lot. Yeah, I completely agree. People think Darklings are still super strong, and Darklings are pretty good on this map. But one issue is Darklings often don't get this center Sanctuary town, and when they don't get that, it makes them a lot worse. And as you can see, their expansion on this map can also be really iffy. Um, it can be a lot harder for Darklings to expand out easily. So yeah. Chaos just used single dig. I'm not quite sure what Chaos Magician's plan is here, but it's looking like maybe they are going to build Stronghold. And then maybe they build Trading Post and still get a Dwelling. They can't hard dig. There's a chance that Chaos isn't going to get out another Dwelling, which is a big swing, because that might mean we're going to win Network over them, whereas I thought they would beat us on Network. So maybe this isn't a done deal yet either, but we'll see. Darklings often get a stranded Sanctuary, and they usually have at least one awkward starting Dwelling. Yeah, so exactly. Like one of the big issues for Darklings is that they often want to start here because this is great leech, and they do need early leech to have a good game. But then they have awkward expansion off of this, and so yeah, like I totally agree that I think Darklings get overbid too much on this map, and then people play them I think slightly wrong too. But it does look like we need to take a ship town here. This current stuff is literally enough to advance ship because I can convert the priest to a coin, convert the power to coins. So that's a ship. Here's a ship. I don't see any other way to guarantee it, and not connecting would be pretty awful. So I have to take a ship town, which I don't feel great about either, but so be it. This is what we got to do in order to connect. We're not really ending at as many points as I would have hoped, and our cults are pretty bad, and we're going to win Network. But yeah, it's not actually great. The more I'm looking at this, I don't actually... Do we even beat Halflings? Oh, we should, right? Halflings are at 113 after passing, 121. Okay, Halflings are just at like 121, and then Halflings should have no Network here. Okay, never mind. We beat Halflings, so that's good. But yeah, we advanced ship. We're at 107, and then this is probably only 4 points. 111, 113, 115 plus at least 15 network at this point. So we're only like 130. I mean, I think 130 beats Darklings as well, but Darklings is at least building a lot of stuff. Are Darklings still going to contest network here with what they got left? Nah, not really. They're pretty out of it too. We sadly didn't get any more leech. I was really hoping to at least get a 2-for-1 because then I could like at least send a priest to air, which looks annoying, but I can't send priest to air. I can at least send a priest to fire, I guess. It doesn't really get me much. Halfling's already passed, so yeah, it doesn't do anything. I don't even care then. I'll just advance ship before I somehow mess it up. Um, Ultimately, we made the best of kind of an awkward game. This block really did hurt us. I still maintain this block hurt Darklings a lot too. I just don't think it makes any sense for Darklings to do this when they can take coins and priests. The only reason you do this as Darklings is if you're convinced Witches is your only competitor, but as is pretty clear, Chaos was also, a real threat here. Um, so, whatever. Sometimes you get hit like that, and it's another reason that I tend to, I think, go for higher economy games because you tend to expand faster and secure critical hexes and stuff quicker before opponents can get to them. And I think all of that tempo matters. But I got beat to something I cared about this game. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't regret that decision. There's no way that against stronger players, the Darklings would have double dug that on me unless they thought I was the only competition. And I just don't think that's the case. So I don't think that's the wrong move. I think Gray pointing out that I apparently didn't take the spade because I'm an idiot. That's a big mistake. Um, I'm not really sure a lot else is questionable this game. Well, I mean, there's stuff you could always question some different paths, but I think we largely took kind of some of the best stuff. I mean, I guess this final round, we did talk about me taking worker and power, so I would have had at least one extra power if I just take this tile. But it turns out I'm not sure one power makes much of a difference either. If I could have sent one priest to air, that does look important because it does look like Chaos decided. Chaos did decide to go for the stronghold route, which I think is wrong, which is actually a really positive thing for us. But they're still going to beat us on air, so I don't think we can beat Chaos. It does look like we're going to beat Chaos on network though, because for some reason Chaos didn't take double dig. Oh, they do a solvent spot. Never mind. Chaos are going to tie us on network, obviously. Oh wait, they went for the trading post. Are they even going to build this dwelling? They have a cult step, but the cult step can't get them power. Are they going to just let us beat them on network? That's a real mistake. Huh. Tunnel vision happens to all of us. Yeah, tunnel vision does happen regarding missing the spin. You just assume things go a certain way due to experience. Yeah. Um, Darklings are giving Chaos the power they need, which is a bit unfortunate here. Although Darklings are probably taking Air 3, which is annoying, but oh well. It was a pretty maniac pass from Darklings. Okay, I mean, I'll have to go rewatch that because I'm really curious. But I'm guessing Darklings like just didn't build the dwelling that they could have. They had if I'm remembering right, they had a priest and a worker, and they could just build a dwelling. And I'm guessing they just didn't. And then they passed for whatever reason, and so the spade was suddenly available when I expected it wouldn't be. But Chaos did accept that in order to tie us on network, so it's a little unfortunate that Darklings gave it to him. But whatever, they still cost themselves a point probably. But I mean, Chaos are going to go take a step on air here still with their cults tile. So we're getting knocked down to very few cult points. Chaos clearly, I think, have won this game. Darklings have nowhere near enough points. So we have a fairly simple second at least, which is welcome, but we're probably going to lose. But oh well. They kept a priest for the 2-point dig into instead of building a dwelling or sending the priest earth for a spade, 4 coins and a power. Okay, yeah, I see. They saved their priest because they wanted to save it for the dig round, but yeah, that's just obvious nonsense. But people do it, so whatever. Yeah, interesting end here. Darklings definitely went at a lot of points inefficiently, and I think that's gonna cost them. But I mean, we're only +9 on network, and they're plus a decent bit on cults, so they're probably not that. We're probably not that far ahead of them, which is unfortunate. But I think it's a fairly safe second. But Chaos easily have this. I mean, they're miles of points ahead of us, and they're tied with us on network. So, yep. Yeah, ultimately, this game is a very small part of me not paying enough attention to some kind of critical stuff that happened, as Gray's pointing out. I mean, we've all made that mistake of assuming things are going to happen and not paying enough attention and just making our move. But that was definitely a bad decision for me. Given how well Chaos went here, I don't even totally know if this is enough to make it up. I mean, we're way behind, but the pastels also just went really badly for us, which I think sometimes is just a little bit of a function of luck. Um, it's really hard to predict these sorts of players in particular for how long their rounds are going to go or what pastels they're going to value. Mediocre players seem to take points tiles when I would not expect them, and then they take econ tiles when I think they should take points tiles, and so all of that can make it hard. So, but yeah, ultimately, I don't think we got many pass points this game, which was part of the difficulty. Yeah, we only got 9 pass points, but Chaos got 26, so they were able to repeatedly bounce around points tiles. While the rest of the table just like really wasn't able to for whatever reasons, and that hurt quite a bit. Chaos Titan Network is always good. Chaos getting a ton of call points despite the fact that Darklings takes the 2 key town is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't really know how much there is to analyze here. We got some good coins actions. I mean, our power action breakdown is pretty reasonable looking. I guess Leech is the only other interesting thing. We got okay Leech, but everybody kind of got okay Leech, so nothing particularly surprising there. Yeah, power gain via structures is pretty even here. So, I mean, one of the downsides in our game was obviously, too, the fact that with both Halflings and Darklings in the game, I really was hoping somebody would make use of this territory, and a lot of times I think Darklings would be up over here, I think Halflings would be up over here. And the fact that neither of them chose to utilize that was also unfortunate, because we did have to pay for too many expensive trading posts to be super efficient. But, oh well. Ultimately, yeah, I don't really have a lot else to say here in terms of analysis, mostly because when you get double dug like this, I mean, Darklings literally took 4th place here. And they could have just had more resources of other stuff. They could have had an easier town. Even if Darklings just takes this on us, if Darklings double digs this, Darklings doesn't need a bridge in the future. We still get this hex. Chaos doesn't get this hex. I mean, think of how different the game is if Darklings just correctly, even if Darklings wanted to double dig, this is just a better double dig for Darklings. And this would also swing the game so differently, because I would get this center town location. I would have been able to just reach this hex and this hex. Chaos doesn't get here, which is just, I think this would be super painful for Chaos. But at the time, Darklings wanted to punish us, and they did. And they took 4th. It slowed us down. It gave Chaos a big break. Happens. But don't think there's much else to analyze, so... it happens to all of us. Yeah, it does. Darklings with the Priest and 7 coins round 2s, they would have been competitive here. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the interesting things, too. If Darklings just doesn't take double dig, I mean, it was a 4-point double dig because it was round 2. But if they just take more Priests and coins, it's also like... This Priest action is also 4 points to them, right? And so they threw away just 3 power in order to take, this hex, essentially. And as I just said, like, if Darklings take this hex, actually... Darklings would be pretty competitive, I think, if they take this hex, because now Darklings have a town here and Darklings can have a town here. And suddenly they have an extra town. Chaos is way lower. We're a bit higher, but Darklings is a lot higher. Chaos is a bit lower, and it's a game again. So, oh well. I mean, I agree. That stuff happens, and that's one of the difficulties of Arena. You can't win them all because sometimes players make choices that hurt you and hand the game to others, and you got to roll with the punches. We've been pretty lucky to avoid that type of situation thus far, and on top of it, as we said, I'm sure there's 1 or 2 things I could have done better too, and whatever. Sometimes you just lose, so it's all good. And if it's my rough game and I still get second, it can't be too bad. And that's kind of where I'm at too, Ghostly. I mean, this was a pretty rough outcome for me, and 1 or 2 other things didn't go well in terms of pastiles. Like, there was kind of a lot of ugliness. I didn't get a neighbor where I wanted. There's a lot of, like, kind of little small things and even some bigger things that didn't go well, and I still got second and barely lost any points, so oh well. Like, it's just how it goes. Anyhow, thanks all for chatting and stuff as usual. It's good to have people watching and chatting, and it's fun to do. It's part of what makes this fun. Thanks for a couple followers that happened during this time. Really appreciate all the follows and the subs and all that stuff. That's all really welcome. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it up. I'm still trying to win Arena this season. I I've I personally think I'm one of the best players. My all-time rating suggests that's true. Uh, I tend to think I can be competitive in most Terra Mystica formats if I really put my effort into it, and I've never really tried to win Arena. Uh, I tried decently hard in season two, or not even that hard, but I tried in season two, but I just didn't play that many games, and I made my push too late in the season. And too late in the season, the issue is only like the strongest players remain, and so it's really hard to get wins and move up. Was my theory or my take from that. But I did get fifth place that season, so that was fun. But yeah, I mean the goal is to try to win this season, and I'm gonna keep playing. I mean I'm only at 30 games, and like I say, I think it takes nearly 100 to actually be like competitive. I'm not sure I can even get to 100, but I do need to keep playing, and I enjoy streaming them, so I'll keep doing it. Honestly, I might even do one in a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna feed my dog and feed myself. But I definitely think I might play another. Were you gonna do another game? Yeah, and we'll see me Wednesday. Yeah, so again, thanks all for the chat. But yeah, King of Gods. I actually think I am gonna play another game, but yeah, I think it's gonna be in like 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna feed and play with my dog quick. I'm gonna get a little food, and then I think I'm gonna do one more. Uh, and then as for Wednesday, yeah, I am playing in the Fire 2 Open on Wednesday, so 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern is the start time. We'll see how that game goes. Should be exciting. Got to go back to playing on base map, which I haven't actually done a lot of. Maybe I should try to get one of those games in too, but I don't actually think practice does much at this point, honestly. So yeah. Thanks all for watching. That was a fun one. Maybe we'll get a Witches win again in the future, or maybe we'll keep playing some other factions. But I think I probably will be back pretty shortly, but no guarantees. So as usual, I don't have a real streaming schedule. Maybe someday I'll get there. But in the meantime, thanks for popping in when I'm streaming and all that, and I'll see you all around.